Good morning, everyone. Namaste to each of you. And thank you for joining me today to honor your mind and your body and your spirit. Let's just take a moment to become present. So find yourself in a nice, comfortable seated position with your spine, back of your neck nice and long, open chest, open heart, open lungs. And gently close your eyes and soften your thoughts. Soften your eyes. Soften your shoulders. Soften your heart. Observe your breath as it is, soft and gentle, breathing life into you with each inhale and relaxation with each exhale. Feel the grace of being present, returning to that awareness again and again. You may open your eyes now, and the Willisons are back. So this morning's intention, if you'd like to think of a positive word or phrase to have with you on the mat, and perhaps carry with you throughout the day, you could do so now. This week, we're going to explore one of the Niyamas. Just to review, the Niyama is the second of 8 limbs of yoga, the first being the yamas, which we talked about the last couple of weeks. Yamas are guidelines on how to interact with the world outside of yourself. And the niyamas are the second limb of the 8 limbs of yoga, and those are how to interact with yourself. And the first of those niyamas is Saucha, which is cleanliness, purity, and clarity. And those each are quite large subjects unto themselves, but they all hold in common is removing stuff to come to the essence of something. So today we're going to focus on cleanliness. And when we cleanse the body and the mind inside and out, we are attentive to the higher aspects of living consciously, staying grounded, and being centered in daily life. So spring is traditionally a time of year when we start thinking about cleansing and cleaning, spring cleaning in our homes. There's a lot of religions. Lent is a part of the religion that, or cleansing is a part of Lent that is done. You give up something, or theoretically you're supposed to fast on Ash Wednesday and on Good Friday. So there's, in the Ayurveda world, Ayurveda, which we talked about last week, it being Kapha season and it being wet and heavy with the elements of water and earth, which makes mud. So you think those wet, heavy, cool elements. Spring cleaning for ourselves is a good thing because it kind of lightens us up. So with the Ayurvedic lifestyle, cleansing is a vital part of doing that. And it fosters clarity and groundedness in the mental, spiritual, and emotional spheres. So as part of today's class, I'm going to give you a link to a spring cleanse. That's an Ayurvedic spring cleanse. And you pick your dosha And it kind of guides you through different things of how to do a spring cleanse in the Ayurvedic world. I actually talked Mark last night into doing a 3-day cleanse, which is seemingly the minimum of it. And there's one dish that is kind of a staple in cleansing. It's called khichdi. And it's a mixture of basmati rice and mung beans, and then vegetables and herbs, similar to the recipe I gave you last week, but it's very much the staple in an Ayurvedic cleanse. So I'll provide you with a link to that. So for today's pranayama, our breathing technique, we've explored a number of what's considered cleansing breathing techniques. One is the Nadi Shodhana, which is it's alternate nostril breathing. You closed off one nostril and then you closed off the other nostril, and that clearing out the two channels, the left and right channels in your system. Last week we did the Kalabati, which is cleanses the respiratory system. And then there's one that's not really on the yoga radar, but I hear it a lot when I take classes now for the last year, exactly, online classes. And they call it the cleansing breath. Let's do a nice cleansing breath. So what it is simply is inhaling through your nose and then opening your mouth and exhaling deeply through your mouth, just letting all the air go out of your lungs, but through your mouth. Typically with yoga breathing techniques, it's in the nose, inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the nose. But this one, and I've been in classes where people really get into the cleansing breath and get very vocal and audible in it. And you can certainly do that in your home because you're on mute. You can, let it rip. So let's just practice a few of those. So inhale through your nose. And again, we're doing from the tummy, inhaling so that our tummy expands, bringing that breath up to our ribs, and then bringing that breath up to our chest. And so the 3-part full, complete breath. So inhale through our nose. So feel free to do that at any point today or any day's practices. Again, we're all on mute except for me. So you can just let that audible part be as loud or quiet as you want. So for today's meditation, focus on what's called mindful meditation. And that again is very simple. It's focusing on your breath. And it tends to clear the monkey mind and of the clutter that the monkey mind brings to your head. And it just makes you focus more. It becomes your drishti, if you will. So I'm going to meet you on the mat. Just take a few moments to do a mindful meditation. You can close your eyes or keep them slightly open, and just focus on your breath and try to get that monkey mind clutter to go away. It's not entirely possible, but it helps to do that. Stay. Oh, I forgot the mudra. So there's a detoxing mudra that goes with that. It's the prana mudra that we've been doing, which is bringing the pinky, the ring finger, and the thumb together. But what you do is you bring the thumb to the inside part of your ring finger. So the very base inside your ring finger. And that is a detoxifying. So it's a cleansing mudra. I went to put my hands down, I'm like, oh, where's my mudra? You may open your eyes now. We're going to begin our asana practice. And today we're going to focus a lot on twists. So the BKS Iyengar, who developed the Iyengar style of yoga, was very big on twists. And he has this theory about squeeze and soak. If you think of a sponge, when you squeeze the sponge, it removes the water in the sponge. And then when you release the sponge, it soaks the water back up. So his theory is that the twists do that. It kind of wrings yourself out. And then when you come back to center, it absorbs that blood again. So the one thing that is clear is that it does stimulate the circulation and it maintains spinal rotation, the lower, middle, and upper spine. And it helps in digestion too. So that often gets overlooked, but that's one of the things that kind of squeezing out your organs helps to do. So it will do a lot of twists, not difficult ones, but that's kind of the theme today. So let's start in this nice seated position. Bring your fingertips to the side. Oscar decided he wanted to join us today. I told him he had to lie down, so we'll see how long that lasts. I also is joined by my oxalis plant, which is also known as a shamrock plant in honor of St. Patty's Day coming up on Wednesday. So bring your fingertips to the mat. We're going to start with some sun breaths. So inhale deeply, raising your arms up. And exhale, bringing your arms down. Inhale, bring your arms up. And exhale, bring your arms down. Inhale, lift up. And exhale, bring your arms down. Inhale, lift up. And one last time, bring your hands back down. Now we're going to do the sun twist. So bring your arms up again. As you turn and twist to the left side of your mat, and bring your arms back down with the exhale, landing your right hand on your left knee. Inhale, lift up. Twist to the right, bring your left hand down on your right knee. Inhale, lift up. And twist to the left, bring your right hand down on your left knee. Inhale up. Twisting to the right, bring your hands down. One last time to the left, inhale all the way up. Exhale, bring your hands down as you twist to the left. And then return to center. With our seated forward fold, let's bring our feet in front of one another instead of cross-legged. We'll just set one foot in front of the other. We're going to do some walking forward fold. So just find your sweet spot in this, whatever feels right for you. Walk your hands as far as what's comfortable, and then we'll go from there. So inhale, and then exhale, slowly walk your hands forward, hinging at the hip, bringing yourself down as far as what's comfortable, finding that sweet spot. It's a great hip opener. And then walk your hands over to the right side. Slowly walk them on over. And if you can get to the point where your torso, your chest is over your right thigh and knee, that's great. It's a nice stretch and twist at the same time. And then walk your hands back toward you. And we're going to lift our right knee up so that it's facing up to the sky. Wrap our left arm around our right knee and send our right hand in back of us. And we're going to set it down right behind our hips so that your spine stays nice and straight and long. And twist to the right side of your mat. And then come back to center. So that squeeze and soak thing going on. So then switch legs, bring your left leg out in front of your right leg, setting it down so that they're parallel. And then inhale deeply and exhale, walking your hands out in front of you, hinging at the hip, and come down to your sweet spot. And then walk your hands over to the left side. And again, if you can bring your torso over your left thigh and knee, that's great. Not necessary. Just looking for a gentle twist. And then walk your hands back up to seated position. Bring your left knee up so that it faces up to the sky. Wrap your right arm around your left knee, sending your left hand out behind you so that it sits right behind your hips. Your back is nice and elongated, and turning to the right or left side of your mat. And then come back to center. Squeeze and soak. Okay, we're going to roll down on our backs. So you can either roll down one vertebrae at a time or use the express method by tucking your hands behind your knees and rolling down. Bring your knees to your chest and give them a nice gentle hug. And then bring your, interlace your fingers and bring that to your left knee. Hold that knee to your chest and extend your right leg fully down to the end of the mat. Flex both sets of toes up to the sky. Check in on your lower back, see if it's trying to make contact or is making contact with the mat. That's what we want. Bring it down as close to the mat as you can. That's comfortable. Then we're going to extend our knee forward to the, we're going to extend our arm out and push our knee forward and then bring our foot up. So that's like at a 90-degree angle, like we're sitting in a chair. And then we're going to, with the left, I don't know if everyone's on the left leg, but bring that, envision that it's in the 12 o'clock position now. So then guiding it with our hand, our left hand, we're going to bring it to an 11 o'clock position, then 10 o'clock position, and then try for a 9 o'clock position. I get to about 9:30. That's it. And that's fine. And then bring it back up till 12 o'clock. And then you can do that same technique again with your leg at a right angle, or if you want a little more stretch, extend your foot up to the sky. You may want to bend your right leg a little bit to support your lower back. And then have your left hand wrapped around the back of your thigh and your right hand down with palm down on the mat to support you. And then come to the 11 o'clock position, 10 o'clock position, and 9 o'clock. I'm probably like 9:45. Excuse me. Daylight savings time on my left leg. And then bring that back up. Bring both legs to your chest. Give them your knees to your chest, nice hug. And then we'll do that with the right leg. So extend your right arm, having your hand on your knee extended as far out as you can go. And then make your leg into a right angle as if you're sitting in a chair. Oh, actually, I forgot the first part, sorry. Hug your right knee to your chest and extend your left leg fully out. Toes are flexed up to the sky. And then with your right hand on your right knee, extend your right arm all the way out and then extend your leg into a right angle. The toes are again flexed up to the sky. And then guiding your right leg with your right hand, bring it to a 1 o'clock position. And then a 2 o'clock position. And then a 3 o'clock position. Or 2:30. And then bring that all the way back up to 12 o'clock. And you can do that again with your leg at a right angle, or you can extend your right leg up to the sky, bend your left leg up a little bit to support your lower back. And with your hand behind your right thigh, your other hand on the mat, palm down to support you. bring your right foot to a 1 o'clock position, then 2 o'clock position, then 3 o'clock position, and 4 o'clock position. Just kidding. And then bring that back up and bring both knees to your chest and give them a hug. And then we're going to do that again. We're going to do it kind of in the opposite direction. So put your interlaced fingers on your left knee and extend your right leg out fully. Toes are flexed, pointing up to the sky. Lower back is snug to the mat. And then extend your arm out, pushing your knee away from you and bringing your leg into a right angle. And then we're going to take our right hand, put it on our left knee, and we're going to bring it to the right side. So we're going to go from 12 o'clock to 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock, hopefully, will be down on your mat. Your knee will be closer to the mat and providing a nice twist in your lower back. And bring your knee back up to the 12 o'clock position. Bring both knees to your chest and hug them. And then bring your interlaced fingers to your right knee, extending your left leg fully out to the bottom of the mat. Toes are flexed, lower back is snug to the mat. And then we'll push our knee away from our chest, extending our arm fully, bringing it into that right angle again. And then with our left hand to the right knee, you need to bring your right hand down to support you. We're going to go from 12 o'clock to 11 o'clock to 10 o'clock to 9 o'clock. And then bring that knee back up to 12 o'clock and then bring both knees back and give them a nice hug. And let's make our way up to tabletop, so you can either roll up or come up, whichever way is comfortable for you. Bring yourself into tabletop where your wrists are right below your shoulders, knees are right below your hips. Fingers are spread out on the mat, supporting you, putting equal weight into each hand. Navel's tucked to the spine, creating a nice flat back. We'll do some cat and cows. So inhale and then exhale, rounding our back, dropping our head down, tailbone down. Inhale, lifting our head and tailbone up. Exhale to cat, rounding our back, dropping our head and tailbone down. Inhale to cow, lifting our head up, tailbone up. Exhale to cat, rounding back. Inhale to cow, lifting head and tailbone up. And continue at your own pace. Nice deep inhales and deep exhales. This is a place where maybe your cleansing breath would be nice to use. Let's meet back at tabletop. You can reassess your tabletop. Make sure your weight is evenly distributed in your hands. Knees are below your hips, navel's tucked to your spine. We're going to lift our right leg up and our left arm up. And we're going to bring our knee and our elbow together underneath our torso. So inhale, stretching both leg and arm out. Exhale, bringing the knee to the elbow underneath our torso. Inhale, stretch out. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, stretch out. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, stretch out. And one last time, exhale, knee to elbow. Then put limbs down. Again, get yourself nice and squared, evenly distributing your weight. Lift your left leg up and your right arm up. Deep inhale, and then exhale, bringing your knee and your elbow together under your torso. Inhale, stretch out. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, stretch out. Inhale, knee to elbow. Exhale, stretch out. Inhale, or exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, stretch out. And one last time. Exhale, knee to elbow. And put everything back down. And then we do a child's pose. So start keeping your hands where they are. Lower your hips toward your ankles, but don't bring your chest all the way down to the mat. We're gonna take this position and actually do a thread the needle from it. So having that little bit of space between your chest and your mat. Take your right arm, bring it under your chest and twist, bringing your head, your right ear and shoulder to the mat. And then push down in your left hand, come back up. Again, come into that child's pose where your hips are toward your ankles, but your chest is still lifted up off the mat. And bring your left arm up and sweep it under your chest, lowering your shoulder and your left ear to the mat. And then bring yourself back up again. And this time you bring yourself down into the child's pose, stretching out your arms in front of you and bringing your forehead to the mat. And then come back up into tabletop. Tuck your toes under and walk your hands back, and we'll come into a squat. Push down into your toes and come up into mountain pose. So for mountain pose, the essentials of good posture, we're going to point our toes to the long edge of the mat and lift our toes up and spread them apart. And then bring them back down onto the mat, lifting your heels up. And then bringing your heels back down to the mat. Feel nice and grounded and rooted into your earth, into your mat. Your legs are nice and straight and strong. Gentle bend in your knees. Navel's tucked to your spine, elongating your back and the back of your neck. Shoulders are relaxed and round, rolled back. Top of your head is reaching to the sky and your chin's tucked back slightly, so it's not sticking out. That elongates the back of your neck. And then we'll sweep our hands up and overhead. And then exhale, forward fold, bending deeply in the knees. The first forward fold of the day, bringing your hands to the mat. Just checking in with everything. Deep breaths. Finding any tension, sending that deep breath lovingly to that tension. Just think of it as a cleansing breath. Relieving any tension that you may have. Then inhale, sweep your hands up to your shins, creating a nice long straight back. Shoulders are rolled back, chest is open, heart is open, half forward fold. Exhale, forward fold, hinging at the hip, bringing the top of your head down toward the mat. Then sweeping your hands from the mat all the way up overhead. Big inhale. And then coming up onto our tippy toes, we're going to do our palm tree. So we're just kind of swaying in the breeze. And then come back down, bringing our heels back down, hands back down, forward fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Flat back. Exhale, forward fold, bringing the crown of your head down toward the mat. Inhale, sweep your hands from the bottom of the mat all the way up overhead. And up above your head, take your right hand and grab your left wrist. Your feet could be a little bit more than hip width apart. And you can take your left arm and bring it over to the right, creating a side stretch. Usually we do the supported side stretch, and this is just called side stretch. And then bring yourself back up, switch hands so that your left hand is around your right wrist. And then we're going to bring our right arm overhead, dipping over to the left side. Then inhale, come back up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Nice straight back, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Crown of your head reaches toward the mat. Inhale, sweeping your hands from the mat all the way up overhead. And then bring your hands directly out in front of you. And we're going to do what I call the International Yoga Day twist. So we're going to bring our right hand, make a 180-degree circle so that we twist to the right, bringing our left hand to our right shoulder. Then inhale, come back to center. And we'll do that on the other side. So make this sweeping 180-degree circle with your left hand, and then bring your right hand to your left shoulder. And you follow your fingertips with your eyes, so that creates more of the twist. Bring your left hand back to center. Both hands are extended. Do that on the right hand with the right hand again. So make that sweeping 180-degree, following your fingertips with your eyes. And then come back to center. And one last time on the left, sweeping 180, following your fingertips with your eyes. And then come back to center. Lift your arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweeping your hands all the way up from the mat, on up overhead. And then bringing your fingertips to the back of your hips. Fingertips pointing down. Shoulders are relaxed and rolled back. Chin tucked to your chest. And we'll just dip our shoulders backward for a supported back bend. Just remember to continue breathing. And then come back up to center. We're sweep our hands up overhead and come into forward fold, bringing both hands down to the mat. Extend both feet to the back of the mat for plank pose. Wrists are right below your shoulders. Fingertips are spread wide open. Legs are active and strong, pushing to your heels to the back of the mat. Navel's tucked to the spine, lifting your hips up slightly. And then we're going to gently come down to the mat, either chaturanga or knees, chest, chin. Keeping the elbows close to our side. And then when we land, we'll sweep our hands forward till our elbows are right underneath our shoulders and come into Sphinx pose. So if that's a little tough on your shoulders, you can bring your elbows a little bit further, bring them a little further ahead in front of you. Otherwise, you can keep them right under your shoulders. Chest is open. Top of your feet are pushing down, creating this nice, gentle back bend. And I usually have a joke here, and I forgot to write one. So Sphinx position, just as a review, it's a great lower back. It looks a little intuitive, but it's a great lower back pose. And there's been some research done that people who were scheduled to go into surgery for lower back surgery did Sphinx pose for like 5 minutes a day for I forget how long a period. and they actually ended up avoiding having to have the surgery done. So it is a helpful pose. You do have to warm up before you get there though. Let's bring our hands under our shoulders, tuck our toes under, push up and come up into downward dog. So get into your nice, comfortable downward dog position. Hands spread apart, arms are straight, chest reaching toward the thighs. Knees are bent, you can pedal, keeping those knees bent. Hip extended up to the sky. We're going to bring our left knee to our left elbow. So inhale, bring that left knee up to the left elbow, pushing off with your right toes. Great core exercise. And then back again, pedal out. Inhale, knee to elbow. And then back again to downward dog, pedal out. And on the next inhale, we're going to bring our left foot between our hands and come into runner's lunge. So sorry about that. Any way that's good for you to get there, that's great. Without startling the dog. So our knees right above the ankle, back leg is nice and strong, heels pushing to the back of the mat. We're going to plant our right hand down into the mat and sweep our left hand up to the sky for a runner's lunge with a twist. And then bring that left hand back down. We're going to push down into our front foot and pivot our back foot down and push up into into warrior two. So we're going to keep that front lunge position. Back foot is the edge of the back foot's nice and snug into the mat. You're pushing down with both feet and out toward the front and the back of the mat, creating energy in your leg. Your chest is open to the long side of the mat. Sweep your hands up so that your arms are at shoulder height, and gently turn your head to look at your left fingertips. We're going to lower our right hand down to our thigh and lifting our left hand up to the sky, following our hand with our eyes, creating a drishti. And then bring that left hand down, bring it onto the top of your thigh, sweeping your right hand overhead, extended side angle. And inhale, come back up to warrior two. Again, turn your head to your hand, lowering your back hand. You're going to do the reverse warrior again, bringing your left hand up to the sky. Then bring your left arm down to your left thigh, sweeping your right hand over for extended side angle. And then come back up to warrior two. And we'll do that one more time. So turning your head, look at your left fingertips. Reverse warrior, bring your right hand down, left hand up. And then bring your left hand down rather, to your left thigh, sweeping your right hand overhead. And then bring your right hand down to the mat. Come back into runner's lunge by pivoting your back foot. And then pushing down your front foot, bring your back foot up to meet your right foot, coming into forward fold. Spread a little bit apart. We're going to bend our left knee, put our left hand flat on the mat in front of it, or if you have a block, and then sweep your right hand all the way up to the sky. So forward fold with a twist. And then bring your right hand down and slowly come back up to mountain pose. Sweeping your hands up overhead, palms together, and bring them to heart center. And we'll do that on the other side. So inhale, sweeping our hands up. And exhale, forward fold. Bringing both hands to the mat. Extend both feet to the back of the mat to plank. And then lower down, chaturanga or knees, chest, chin to the mat. Slide your hands out to the front of the mat, bringing your elbows right below your shoulders for Sphinx. Chest is open. Should be a little bit of pressure in your elbows so that your ears and your shoulders have nice distance between them. Tops of your feet pushing down. And bring your hands right below your shoulders. Tuck your toes under and push, come up to downward dog. And pedal out here for a moment. And then inhale, bringing your right knee to your right elbow. And then back again to downward dog, pedal out. Right knee to right elbow. And back to downward dog, pedal out. And then we're going to bring our right foot up between our hands for runner's lunge. So bring that up without startling the dog. And actually, I'm going to flip around so you see you better. Then I'm going to push down and come up, pivoting your back foot up into warrior two. So your front knee should be over your ankles, still in that lunge position. Back edge of your foot's nice and snug in the mat, pushing down, pushing forward to each end of the mat. Feel nice and stable. Sweep your arms up to shoulder height, turning your head. Look at your right fingertips. Then lower your left hand to your thigh while you're lifting your right hand up to the sky. And lowering your right hand down to your right thigh. Sweep your left hand overhead, extended side angle. And come back up to warrior two, keeping that lunge position, bringing your arms up to shoulder height, turning your head gently to look at your right fingertips. Lowering your left hand while you're raising your right hand up to the sky. And then lower your right arm to your right thigh, sweeping your left hand overhead, extended side angle. And come back up to warrior two. And we'll do that one last time. Turning your head to look at your right fingertips. And check your lunge position. Feet are nice and snug in the mat. Lower your left hand, raise your right hand. And then lower your right arm to your right thigh, sweeping your left hand overhead. A nice long stretch. And then bring your left hand down to the mat, pivoting your back foot, come into runner's lunge. And then bring your left foot up to meet your right foot into forward fold. Separate your feet just slightly. You can bend your right leg, placing your right hand in front of the right foot. Left leg is as straight as is comfortable. Then sweep your left hand all the way up to the sky. Forward fold with a twist. And bring your left hand back down and slowly roll up to mountain pose. Bring your hands down, heart center. So we'll bring our toes out to the edge of the mat. Heels are tucked in at 45-degree angle. We'll do a wide-legged squat. So bring your torso down as you lower your hips to the mat. Bring your torso between your legs. Elbows are against your inner thighs, inner knees. And if you'd like a little more stretch, you can take your Anjali Mudra and bring it down toward the mat. And then bring your hips and your seat onto the mat. And then we'll roll back. Again, you can do one vertebrae at a time or express method. Bring your knees to your chest and rock them back and forth. Give your back a nice lower back massage. If you want, you can make circles with your toes. Clockwise, springing forward with the clock. Tomorrow, not my favorite. And then counterclockwise, falling back, that's my favorite. Then bringing your knees to your chest, again, a nice hug. Extend your arms out at shoulder height. And exhale, dropping your knees to the right side of the mat. And then slowly turning your head to the left side of the mat, looking at your left fingertips. And bringing your head back to center. Inhale, lift your legs back to center. And then exhale, dropping your knees to the left side of the mat. And slowly turning your head to look at your right fingertips. Slowly turn your head back to center. Inhale, lift your legs back up to center. And then extend your feet to the end of the mat. Prepare for Shavasana. And just relax. Let your feet flop open. And just follow any tension and release it as you make your way up your leg to your knee, then to your hips, and then to your chest. And your shoulders, relaxing your shoulders, letting them just relax into the mat. Relax your arms, palms facing up to the sky. Relax your neck and your jaw and your forehead. Place a smile on your lips. So I'm going to read from Deborah Adele's book called The Yamas and Niyamas in the chapter called Saucha, which is the first niyama. She says, taking steps to cleanse and purify ourselves will look different for each of us. Cleansing doesn't have to be earth-shattering or weird to begin to work its magic. It might take the form of increased physical exercise, or increased water intake, a day of fasting on fruit and juice, or perhaps a day of cleaning out closets. Maybe we will choose to spend a day purifying our tongue so that we can speak nothing of harm or untruth for the entire day. Whatever form purifying takes, it always begins with an intention to lighten the load we are carrying.